Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Good to have you on Live Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. My name is Omobola Stephen. Now, Live Well Lived by Omobola Stephen focus on personal development and self-improvement topics, occasioning experts and professionals who are adept in these topics, sharing insightful, sharing transformative insight that is going to literally blow your mind, moving you from where you are to where you need to be. Now, personal development and self-improvement is very key. In order for you to be able to move from where you are to where you need to be, you need to constantly look inwards, ask the questions, and I guarantee you, once you begin to ask the questions, you will always find the answers. And also that the tips, strategies, and tools provided by the experts and professionals on the show is for you to be able to take decisive steps. And once you take the decisive steps, take action where necessary. I guarantee you, you're going to really have a transformed mindset. Today, I have Niki Norlock on the show with me.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me on as a guest.
Thank you, Niki, for joining me on the show. Niki is an author and indie filmmaker. She's here to talk about a book, Truth, My Synchromistic Journey. Welcome once again, Niki Norlock.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks for joining me on the show. Now, you want to share with my audience also what it takes to not only choose to live, but to choose to love living. Now, I really want us to begin with this line. So what's more in the truth that you like for us to know about?
Sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
All right. Now, you like to share with my audience what it takes not to only choose to live, but to choose to love living. So my question to you is, we want to begin with this line, that what's more in the truth you like for us to know about?
The truth is that the journey never ends, and I'm going to start there. When I began my own personal journey, trying to discover who I am as a person so that I could gift that back to the world, I did it by abandoning my life, going to the Philippines, and writing a book. In the Philippines, I learned a unique perspective on faith and family, and that has been the driving force behind everything I've done. They changed my perspective on everything, and they helped me to begin to understand that growth comes from within, and that all growth is unique, and that each journey is unique, and that there is no end to the journey. So just, I don't know, enjoy the ride, really.
Absolutely. Life's journey is very unique, and it's very important for us to understand that reality. You abandoned your life to write a book in a foreign land, as you said earlier, because the Spirit told you. So what do you mean by you abandoned your life?
Wow, my life was a mess. I did have a boyfriend at the time. We were sharing space. I had joint custody of my daughter, who is an amazing human being, by the way. But I was working as a waitress with an incredible staff that I loved. But I honestly hated the job itself, and I knew that I needed to make a change, and I knew that I wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing. I felt compelled to be pulled in the right direction, to allow myself to be pulled in the right direction. And I was unhappy, I was miserable. So I asked for help. I asked the divine for help, and did it come? And it came rapidly, like rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. Next thing I know, I'm in the Philippines. I'm writing a book called Truth, My Synchromistic Journey, and my life has never been the same since.
Right. Niki, we are focusing on your book. I really want you to tell my audience what really inspired, writing on your book. What leads the spark?
The spark is the beginning of it all is me laying in bed begging God, the universe, the creator, whatever you want to call him, her, it, for help. And then one day I realized I wasn't offering anything in exchange. So I offered to leave everything behind. And if I could be, please, led in the right direction, given signs, I would go. And I fell asleep in a very unique way. And I woke up knowing that I had to quit my job, go to the Philippines, write a book called Truth. And I had no idea what the book would be about. The book itself is actually the journey of that beginning step into the expansion of my heart, my mind, and my spirit. And so it just really follows the journey. I did most of the writing while I was in the Philippines, and I was documenting what was going on at the time and the people that I was meeting. And there was so much wisdom from these people that are just ordinary, everyday people, like the concierge or the waiter or your driver. And some of the wisdoms that they shared with me were so insightful and so mind expanding. And I wrote it all down, and it turned into an incredibly fascinating story just because of the fact that I had so much help. It proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that ask and ye shall receive is a genuine thing. It's an absolute truth.
Absolutely. Now, in your traumatic experience that you had, you would like to tell us about self-worth, the lack of self-worth that you had to deal with during this period, and how did you overcome that?
Ooh, I was terrified. This entire experience I was terrified to undergo. And actually, I published the book the first time under a pen name because I was terrified. So the thing is, I had so much support. I never lacked for support in my immediate vicinity. And over the years, the support has changed, the people have changed, the places have changed, but spirit has never let me down. I have always had support. And so over time, with that support, I began to understand the power of me and the power of the experiences I had been having and the power of my journey, the changes that it inspired in other people, and the changes that having the journey had inspired in me. And as I grew, my self-worth grew. And it's thanks to the people around me that supported my work, and to my readers and to my fans.
All right. Now, you telling us that self-worth, you were really supported. You had a lot of support, which really helped you in your self-worth.
Yes.
Now, don't you think that self-worth is an inside job? It's something that begins with it, the inside. Can you share a bit about that?
Absolutely. So it begins with you wanting to become a better version of you. It begins with a very strong desire to need to grow. You will, in that moment of asking for growth and expansion, pull towards you the help that you need. It's only for you to keep your eyes and ears open for it. But yes, of course, absolutely. All of this begins within. And everything that comes to you is coming to you from within. You're calling it to you because it is your strongest desire. Your desire is to grow and to expand and to learn. And that takes you on a journey unlike anything I ever thought I would have experienced in this lifetime. It is still going on. I currently live in Mexico. I'm riding around Mexico on motorcycles, filming it, from waitress to published author to indie filmmaker. Just your self-worth grows as you begin to understand how important the growth actually is. So they're kind of connected, they're intertwined.
Right. Thanks, Niki Norlock, for sharing that insight and your thoughts with us. You talk about the spirit not leaving you now, close to what faith is. Now, what does faith in the divine have to do with the adversities that life brings away? I like you to share with my audience your own personal testimony and story.
It's my story is very, very long, so I'm going to try and use one example. So it's actually a recent example. There was a very big change in my life. I was, during COVID, running a restaurant in Costa Rica. I got sick, and we discovered that it was due to the mold in the house that I was living. I needed to get out of there. At the same time, my business partner needed help with finding a home in Mexico. So I literally left my life behind in Costa Rica and jumped to Mexico. And I didn't know what to expect. So for me, faith is seeing an opportunity or seeing a sign that leads you in a certain direction and fearlessly stepping into that direction, taking that first step towards where you're meant to be. Faith is knowing that you're supported. Faith is knowing, even if you have no money in your pocket and you have nothing to your name, and I've been there, I've literally been there, just the belief that you will have help, the help will come. And it's, some call it miraculous, but I just call it life, because that's how it's supposed to work. We're all mystics. We're all able to create our best version of self, which in turn creates our best life, which in turn benefits our planet as a whole and our global community, humanity.
Niki, to those who have experienced, who has lost everything in life, who are in a hopeless situation, what do you want to tell those who are in this situation, who have experienced emptiness, lost everything and are hopeless? What do you have to tell them, going by what you've also experienced in this regard? Do you have any encouraging words that you'd like to share them?
Yeah, my biggest thing is, first of all, you're not alone. Whatever your challenge is in this moment, you are not alone. There's thousands, millions of other people on the planet having similar challenges. And I know that it makes you feel like you are worthless, but we all have value and worth. You need to have the strength within to ask for the help that you need. And that is the hardest part of this journey, I think. For me, it was the hardest part, was to learn to ask. And it's either ask the divine, ask family, ask friends, whatever you believe is best for you, because like I said, all of these journeys are unique. The first step is asking for help and believing that you will get it. My advice, therefore, is to find the strength within you to be vulnerable enough to allow others to see that you're not okay.
Absolutely. So what lessons have you learned in all of these? What changes, what improvement have you made in your life going by these experiences?
I am surrounded by amazing people. I'm living in a home that I love, in a country that I love. I'm doing what I love for a living. I'm, supported spiritually, physically. I'm still experiencing amazing magical experiences and encounters almost on a daily basis. And yes, there have been so many challenges that I have had to face, and where I've been in that moment of despair. I've been curled up on the bathroom floor praying for death. I've been there, so I get it. But it's so worth the journey. It's so worth taking the time to look within you and see what you need to change about yourself, and then to look around your environment, see what you need to change about your environment. And sometimes that means letting go of people in your life, or where you live, or your job. but it's worth it at the end. And that's what I have learned, is that every time a challenge arises, it just means I'm about to up level.
Absolutely. Good to know. Niki, do you have any interesting news you'd like to share with my audience? Perhaps you have any project in the pipeline you'd like to share?
Yeah, so actually, interestingly enough, so the book inspired a documentary, and we are going to be doing some marketing around the documentary. It was done in the Philippines about street children, and I am also currently working on the last 4 books of the Truth series. The current book that I'm working on is, I believe, the 4th book, and it is on health and wellness. The first book was Truth, My Synchronous Journey. The second book will be about abundance. Third book is about relationships. 4th book is about health and wellness. And the 5th book is a surprise. And that will be coming out over the period of the next couple of years. So something to keep your eye open for. And plus my YouTube channel, where you can follow my wacky adventures in Mexico on motorcycles.
Absolutely. We'll be on the lookout, and I wish you best of luck in all the projects that you embark upon, Niki.
Thank you.
Do you have any motivating line you'd like to share with my audience? Any parting word?
Get happy. That's the best advice I ever got, was get happy. Just find your bliss. Find what makes you happy and do that. And have faith.
Absolutely. We like to have your social media handles and also your website, if any.
Sorry, I didn't
We
hear
like
that.
to have your social media handles and your website, if any.
Oh, okay. So look for Niki Norlock. YouTube is under Phoenix Rising. Facebook also under Phoenix Rising. And Instagram, Phoenix Rising. TikTok, Phoenix Rising. And that's spelled FEENX Rising.com. Phoenix Rising. So you can find me on any of those places, or just Google Niki J. Norlock and I should pop up.
Sure. Thank you once again, Niki Norlock, for sharing your thoughts on today's show, especially about your book. I really appreciate your thoughts once again. Thank you for sharing your time. I wish you best of luck once again on the projects that you have.
Thank you. And the book is available now on Amazon.
All right. We will be on the lookout for that and do what is necessary. Wish you best of luck once again, Niki. Now, if you like to catch up with me,
thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure having you on the show, Niki. If you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of Live Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, you can catch up on any cross-promotion platforms or any distribution platforms that you bump into online. Just search for Live Well Lived by Omobola Stephen online, and here you go. Do have an amazing time. Listen to expert professionals share their thoughts, their life experiences, expertise on topics or subjects on the personal development and self-improvement. I need to always stay safe, always I talk soon.